Hey everybody, it's nutritionist Amy Berger from toitnutrition.com bringing you a different kind of installment today. It's still keto without the crazy, but just have some kind of stream of consciousness thought stuff that I want to share with you. And it is August 6th. Yes, I had to check my computer to know what day it is. That's what happens when you work from home. Monday could be the same as Wednesday, Thursday. It all kind of blends together. So it's August 6th, and I just returned from a trip to Sprouts, and before Sprouts, I actually met a client in person, which is really rare for me. It's very rare that I get someone who's in my local area that I can have a consultation with in person. Like 99.9% of what I do is over the phone or Skype. If you're in my local area, which is the Raleigh-Durham Triangle area of North Carolina, feel free to hit me up for an in-person consultation. You can see that on my website, toitnutrition.com. There's a tab that says work with me. Moving along, I want to talk to you about my interaction with the client, but first I want to kind of go through my little Sprouts purchase and my receipt, because I've done videos on keto on a budget, and I did my Aldi grocery haul, and then I read the sales flyer and stuff from a couple of different stores. And carnivore fans and followers, look away. You're going to be horrified at all the vegetables I bought. I really didn't need to buy meat because I have a freezer stocked full of, there's pork, beef, lamb, chicken, goat. There's like everything under the sun in that freezer right now. I did buy some meat for myself for lunch because I'm in kind of a pinch, but I bought a lot of vegetables because I was in the mood for them. And, you know, sorry, carnivore friends, my carnivore friends have been begging me to try a strict carnivore because I haven't really talked much about this on YouTube yet, but I do have depression. I experience depression, and some of them think that pure carnivore could really help me out. And I probably will try it at some point. I've been wanting to. I'm just not ready to quite make that leap just yet. And, you know, I said in that video with my Aldi groceries that I like vegetables. I never wanted an excuse not to eat them, or like, oh, I can't believe I have to choke down this broccoli. Even when I was a kid, I liked broccoli. I liked Brussels sprouts. I liked cabbage. I mean, maybe my mom was just a great cook, but I like that stuff, and I still do. So, you know, I'm not looking for a reason to not have to eat it. I like eating it. Anyway, with that out of the way, I want to show you what I bought and talk about how much it was. And then I will tell you about this client, because that's really what you guys need to hear. So my total was $27.82, so a little bit less than $30. And here's what I got for all that. I am going to show you my trusty bag from the Armed Services Blood Program. This is from back when I worked at the Pentagon and I would donate blood. They would have regular blood drives there. Please do donate blood or platelets if you are eligible and if you can, because you know what they say, the life you save could be your own. And God forbid you should be in an accident, or someone you love should be in an accident. You want there to be lots and lots of blood at that hospital or at that blood bank, because when there's an emergency, you can't wait. I happen to have O negative blood, which is the universal donor, so that means anyone can get my blood. There's no like antigens or however that works, like anybody with any other blood type can have O negative, because it won't react and cause like this bad gnarly thing to happen in your blood. So I do donate. I've been donating for years and years, and you know, so many people are ineligible to donate because use of certain kinds of medications make you ineligible. History of certain kinds of illnesses and medical conditions make you ineligible. Travel or spending a certain amount of time in various countries in different parts of the world make you ineligible. So with so many people getting sicker these days, and so many people on more medication, and so many people being world travelers, the pool of eligible donors is getting smaller and smaller. So do donate blood if you can. Moving on from my little PSA, let's see. I got a cabbage, a pretty good sized green cabbage. I'm gonna roast this. I saw a recipe for cabbage steaks, and I know my carnivore friends are like dying right now. It's not cabbage steak. You just cut a thick slice of cabbage, put olive oil, salt, and pepper, and you roast it, and it becomes delicious. Or at least the picture in this cookbook looked really delicious. Now this cabbage was 69 cents a pound. You cannot beat that. Sorry. 69 cents a pound. Is keto expensive? Nope. Not when cabbage is 69 cents a pound. Now, there's not a whole lot of room on my table, so I'm going to put that on the floor. I got some radishes. I don't normally eat radishes, but I wanted to roast them with the cabbage because We so often eat radishes raw in salads, right? Or like fish tacos and stuff. You can julienne them or, use the mandolin and slice them really, really thin. So raw radishes are delicious, but they're equally delicious roasted. And they're actually a pretty good substitute for potatoes. If you like a hash brown in the morning or like home fries, radish home fries. They just cook really deliciously. They get much more tender when you roast them, especially, and also when you kind of cook them like a home fry type of item. They lose a lot of that bitter, peppery bite that they have. Sometimes they become kind of sweet, and not sweet like carby. There's really very, very little carbohydrate in radishes. It just takes away that peppery bitterness. But anyway, got radishes, and these were 79 cents for this bunch. Now, sometimes, like at Aldi or other supermarkets, you can get probably about this much, maybe a little more, without the green tops. This still has the green tops that I'm just going to discard. I won't do anything with that, but you can get a pretty good bag of just the radish root for like 99 cents. But even so, no big deal. This nice, hefty bunch was 79 cents. And I got some celery, and this was $1.49. A whopping $1.49. You can eat this raw. You can put it in the slow cooker in a stew. Sorry, it's in the bag, so it is celery. You can see, la la la, it's celery. Not organic. The organic was actually not that expensive, but I'm not a purist. Food is food, and so the celery, $1.49. What else? I did get, that's not from Sprouts. Brussels sprouts. They were on sale, $1.88 a pound. I've never seen Brussels sprouts that cheap. And again, we're talking about Sprouts. I kind of always, until I lived in a place where there was a Sprouts market, I had only ever heard of Sprouts. I'd never been to one. And I had this impression that it was this hoity-toity, expensive, fancy, exclusive type store. It's really not. Even their meat, the meat goes on sale for pretty good prices every now and then. I would say their produce prices are a lot better than their meat. And their cheese, I don't buy cheese at Sprouts because it is kind of pricey there. I can find the same exact cheeses much cheaper at another store. But if you are a vegetable eater, if you're not a carnivore, Sprouts is great. $1.88. And these Brussels sprouts, they were like not pre-bagged. You could just get them. They're enormous. Like, here's the palm of my, like it's like a baseball. I mean, it's not like, it's like a really small baseball, but it's like one of those blue balls. Did you ever, not blue balls. Sorry, I'm not making a dirty joke. Those like rubber balls that people would play handball with. We did that in New York City. I don't know if that's a normal thing or a New York City thing. Like, this is an enormous Brussels sprout. Serious, these are like ridiculous. I know it's hard to see on a video. Trust me, these are enormous. I've never seen Brussels sprouts these big, or for $1.88 a pound. You'd be crazy not to buy some. I'm gonna roast them again, just like the cabbage or the radishes, olive oil, salt, and pepper. Mark Sisson, marksdailyapple.com, just the other day, he had a recipe there for roasted Brussels sprouts with balsamic and blue cheese. Hello? Who does not love the ketogenic diet? Brussels sprouts with blue cheese and bacon, and blue cheese and balsamic, where do I sign? So I also did get 2 green peppers, very nice and dark. I don't know if the color really indicates anything about the nutrients versus like a pepper that was lighter, but I do tend to favor the darker ones. I think they're actually just more flavorful, in my opinion, and maybe that's just mind over matter. It could be my head and my eyes messing with me because it's a darker green. I think it should taste better, but 2 of these, and they were 79 cents a piece. Again, pretty good, 79 cents. They even had the red, yellow, and orange peppers on sale, 2 for $3, so $1.50 a piece, which is not that bad, but those peppers, the red, orange, and yellow, go on sale at Sprouts for 98 cents each. So why should I pay $1.50 when next week or the week after they're probably going to be on sale for 98 cents? And I have no meal plan whatsoever here. I'm just going to eat these when I want to eat them. Like, I'll do another video sometime on what I eat in a day. I've had a lot of requests for that. But like, just as an example, what I might eat for lunch one day would be a can of salmon or a can of tuna and all or most of a raw green bell pepper just cut into strips. Maybe I'll probably add some salad dressing or some kind of olive oil, some type of fat. I would have fat with it. Could be, for dinner, I could have a bowl of just ground beef that I brown in a skillet, and same thing, raw green pepper on the side. Like, it is not rocket science. I don't use meal plans. I rarely use recipes unless I'm cooking for other people and I want to impress them and make something fancy. Same thing with the Brussels sprouts. Like, I've got pork chops in the freezer. I could take one of those glass Pyrex dishes, put the pork chops, some seasoning in the oven, 350 for like 40 minutes or so, depending on the thickness of the chop, and roasted Brussels sprouts on the side, or steamed Brussels sprouts, whatever. Like, this is easy. I don't know why people think keto is hard or why they don't know what to cook. Like, cucumber, 69 cents, I think. Yep, 68 cents. 68 cents for a cucumber. And I did need some half and half. Now, their dairy stuff is not so cheap, but I just got it because I was there, and I'd rather just get it while I'm there instead of going to another store. So this organic, it is $2.99, and so it's half and half. And the heavy cream from the same Organic Valley, this was $2.79. So almost the same price for half the size, but this is delicious. If you've ever had this Organic Valley organic heavy cream, it actually, you can tell that it's more like pasture raised because it's more yellow, and you can even taste it has kind of like a rangy, farmy type flavor. I would call it like a terroir of dairy and farm products rather than wine. We say like grapes have terroir, wines have terroir. Anyway, I don't always do organic. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Yes, I use half and half and heavy cream in my coffee. I usually use a mixture, but like if I'm at Starbucks, I'll use whatever's handy. If I'm at a restaurant, I'll use whatever's handy. If there's heavy cream available, I like it, but half and half, you know, the difference in carbs is 1 gram. Not even, because this serving size is 2 tablespoons, this serving size is 1 tablespoon, so it might even be the same. It might even be the same. And, you know, whatever you like best. Heavy cream is just thicker and richer and delicious, so whatever. I also got eggs because I only have 3 eggs left in my current dozen. And this is kind of pricey. I did spring for some fancier eggs. You know, they had like their regular eggs kind of on sale. These were, I'm looking, $5.49. So $5.50-ish for, you know, and that's pricey for a dozen eggs. I'm not going to pretend it's not. Like, if you're on a budget, don't get the $5.50 a dozen eggs. Get the $2.50 a dozen eggs, or the $1.99 if they're on sale. No big deal. Eating regular, conventional, what they call battery eggs, if you're on a ketogenic diet and you need eggs, is perfectly fine. If you have the money, if you have the means, if you want to spring for an egg that might have slightly more nutrients because the hens have a different feed or they get sun or whatever, do it, but no big deal. Pasture raised, organic, humane, blah, 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 you know, massaged by unicorns, and they just had the time of their lives, and okay. You know, really not picky. And I've never tried this particular brand before, so that's why I wanted to get it too, just to see what it was like. I have other go-to egg brands that I really enjoy, but might as well try something different while I was at the store. And I did get, like I said, I didn't really need a lot of meat. Oh, you know what? I forgot, this is falling off. I did get 1 orange pepper. I got $1.50 for the orange pepper. Orange, red, and yellow bell peppers do have more carbs than the green, but they're not exactly Twinkies. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you are someone that absolutely has to worry about every single tiny gram, every last gram, then stick to the green. In fact, you know, there's a reason I got celery and radishes and cucumbers and cabbage, because it's almost 0 carb. It's almost a negligible amount of carbs. This is probably the highest carb thing I got. The Brussels sprouts are kind of middle of the road in terms of carbs, but the point is, I'm not afraid to eat red and orange and yellow peppers. I eat them pretty frequently. I love them. They're delicious. I eat them raw. I eat them cooked. Most often just raw. Cut them up and eat them. It's so easy. What else? So then I picked up, this is going to be part of my lunch, my turkey carnitas. Normally I don't get stuff like this because I like to cook, and I actually have boneless, skinless chicken thighs in the fridge that are already defrosted, that I've already been eating from a couple of days. But I've seen this at Sprouts like a million times and I never bought it, and I said, I'm just going to get it. I'm going to get that. And this is a huge portion, so this will easily be 2 meals for me. And this was $4.84 for this container, so a little less than $5. Again, not something I would buy every day, just wanted to try it the one time because I've seen it there so many times. All right, so Is keto expensive? No, no, not if you know where to shop and not if you shop the sales. You don't have to buy fancy schmancy eggs. You don't have to buy fancy schmancy organic cream. You can get your 68-cent, cucumber, your 79-cent bell pepper, your $1.88 a pound Brussels sprouts. So no, keto is not expensive. All right. Moving along to this client that I had. Obviously, I shall keep her identity private. Just put my eggs down. But this individual, and we had a great interaction, a great consultation. She was very, very happy to hear that she was, like many clients who come to me, doing so much better than she thought she was. She's so much healthier, so much further ahead of the game than she thinks she is. And why? Why did she think there was so much that she should be doing and wasn't, and so many things that she didn't understand that she felt like she needed to master? Where did this come from? This came from what I have mentioned in other videos. I did a video a while back when my channel was actually pretty new, and it says something like feeling confused and overwhelmed or something. I have a blog post that I will link to in the notes for this video called Take an Information Vacation. The reason this dear woman, who was doing perfectly well on keto, perfectly great, there's really nothing I could tell her to improve. I mean, I gave her some tips, but the reason she felt like there was still so much she wasn't getting right is because she, like probably so many of you, reads every keto blog she can find, listens to every podcast, watches every YouTube video, reads every Reddit thread, belongs to every Facebook group. She has so much information coming in from so many sources, and it is, I have to be careful with my language because I want to swear so badly. It is very, very, very difficult to assimilate all of that, to reconcile all of it, because this person is telling you to never eat vegetables ever, they're all poisonous. This person is telling you most of your food should be vegetables. This person's telling you to go lower on fat. This person's saying they ate more fat and lost more weight. What is a keto newbie to do? Or not even a newbie. Maybe you've been at this a long time and you still feel like you have no idea what you're doing. I told her that I would send her a link to my blog post on taking an information vacation. I've said this before, but the interaction that I had with this client was so powerful and so like that I said I have to go home and do this video immediately to address this again. I've said before, I don't envy you if you're new to this, if you're new to keto. When I was new, when I was brand new, it was about 1998, 1999. I got my hands on a used copy of Dr. Atkins' New Diet Revolution. I think it was the 1992 version of the book. But now I didn't stick with low carb keto then. I didn't stick with it for the long term until around 2003, 2004. But even in 2003, 2004, there was no, maybe Facebook existed, I don't even remember. Twitter didn't exist, Reddit didn't exist, Instagram didn't exist, YouTube didn't exist. You know what, honestly, maybe it did. I could be remembering wrong, but if those things existed, they were in their infancy. They weren't like they are now. There wasn't this onslaught, avalanche, endless array of keto information. You could not buy MCT oil at the store. If you needed MCT oil, you could probably get it by being in a scientific clinical trial where it was provided to you by the researchers. There were no home blood meters for ketone testing. There were no breath ketone meters. The urine strips did exist, but that was the only way to measure. What else? Coconut oil was a rarity at the store because that was still at the height of saturated fats really bad for you. Why would anyone in their right mind buy a jar of what is essentially like 94% saturated fat? So supermarkets didn't even have coconut oil at that time. All you had to do, nobody was talking about fasting, nobody was talking about autophagy, nobody was talking about, I don't know what. The only thing they talked about and the only thing that really mattered was keeping your total carbs really low. it still is the most important, most fundamental, and most effective thing, the most effective way to do a ketogenic diet. Keep your total carbs really low. There were not a whole lot of these products. The Atkins company did have some shakes back then, and the shakes are still all right in terms of macronutrients, protein, carbs, fat. They've got, depending on your level of food purity and how you feel, they've got some questionable ingredients. They've got like whey protein, soy protein, sunflower oil. So maybe not the greatest ingredients, but if you need whatever, I don't know, I'm not going to go there. The point is, please don't be confused by the Atkins products available today. Dr. Robert Atkins, the brilliant Dr. Atkins, has nothing to do, I mean, he's deceased, but his, like, even in his later years while he was still with us, he had nothing to do with those products. I don't think, knowing what I know of him, I met his head nurse that worked with him for 30 years, so I've gotten to hear some stories about him that most people are not privy to. I am certain that he would not approve of what is being sold under his name right now. These Atkins M&Ms and Atkins Snickers bars, basically. Anyway, these things existed back then when I was new, but they were very, very limited. There weren't a whole lot of them. They didn't taste that good because the food sort of science has come a long way to formulate them better. So like you didn't really want to eat that many of them anyway because they just didn't taste good. But this lady, she asked me about MCT oil in the coffee, and I was like, well, why are you doing that? Like, she was doing it because she thought she had to. She thought she was supposed to. This is madness. So I told her no. I said, some people use the MCT oil in their morning coffee or tea because they notice a substantial boost in cognitive function, in mental clarity, the brain fog goes away. If you don't notice that and you don't need the oil for any noticeable benefit that it's giving you, don't do it. Or do it if you like the flavor, but don't do it because you think it's making this diet more effective or it's going to make you lose fat faster. The fact is, she's been on keto for like, I don't know how, only a couple, maybe only about 3 months, not too long, but she hasn't lost any weight. And, surprise, surprise, she's drowning everything in fat because she thinks she's supposed to. She was eating very, very low protein because she heard in various sundry websites and forums and blah, 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 that, too much protein is bad for you. And this is why I started this channel, so that when I would get emails from people like that who literally, not kidding you, sitting next to her, and she was a lovely person, like I said, we had a great chat, I could feel the worry and the fear and the anxiety radiating out of her toward me. It was palpable, like it was a physical thing that I was feeling. And I know she's not the only one. And I started this channel for the purpose of helping those people, helping you if you're one of them. When I would get an email like, my ketones are only 0.4 and I eat this and I'm eating 80% fat and I'm doing this and I'm fasting 16 hours, why isn't this working? So that instead of having to type out some big complicated email, I could say, oh, you're worried about ketone levels? Here, watch this video. Oh, you're worried about too much protein? Here, watch this video. And I can just send a link. And I can send a link to blog posts. I've covered most of this on my blog, but there's a lot of people who will watch a 30-minute YouTube video when they won't take the time to read a very long blog post that maybe reading the post would have only taken 4 minutes. Just because the reading, it's so long, it looks so intimidating, it would have taken a fraction of the time for them to read the post. They will sooner watch a video that's, however many times as long. So I started this channel really to be keto without the crazy. And I think I wasn't using that phrase until recently because it took me like a while to find my niche, however you say that. I knew that I wanted to send a message of clarity and simplicity and sanity around keto. The keto without the crazy sort of just happened. It just came to me one day and I was like, oh, that's good, I'm going to use that. But you've got to stop doing this to yourselves, people. I told her to take an information vacation. And like I said, I will link to that blog post in the notes here for the video. Step away. extract yourself out of the keto bubble and go somewhere else for a few days or weeks, right? No keto blog, well, except for my blog, of course, and my YouTube. You have permission to watch those. Blogs, YouTube, Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, what have you. Take a break. Take a break from it all. Go do something else. I know you've got to have some other interest. It could be music, it could be playing a musical instrument, architecture, art, gardening, knitting, woodworking, model trains, whatever it is that floats your boat. Go float it. Go float it without keto for a little while. Don't quit the keto diet. Just quit forcing yourself to take that keto avalanche right to the face, right upside the head. You know, the great thing about the internet is that all these videos will be here when you come back. They're not going away. They're not going anywhere. Now, yeah, somebody could take one down and delete it, but guess what? Or same thing with a blog post, same thing with a Facebook post. If somebody deleted something, it was probably crap to begin with, or maybe contained a mistake or something to begin with, and they're better off taking it down, and you were better off not having seen it because it was erroneous, right? Or maybe it was offensive in some way. You know, nothing, you're not going to miss anything. There's very little that happens that's groundbreaking. Very little is going to be discovered in the next 24 to 48 hours about the ketogenic diet that would fundamentally, radically alter what you eat and how much of it you eat if you stepped away for 48 hours. You can come back in 2 days, I promise. Like, if there is something truly revolutionary, you'll hear it because it'll make it onto the TV news, it'll make it onto the news site that you're watching because you're not watching keto sites. You will hear about it if there's something so truly earth-shattering. And if you don't hear it, guess what? Because it didn't happen. I've been in this a long time. I am constantly learning new things, but I'm learning details about processes I already knew. They're just new details that solidify my understanding or add nuance to it. It's nothing that has made me radically alter what I do. Nothing that's made me quit a food that I was eating. Nothing that's made me run to the store to get a food that I think I must be eating immediately. So I think that's it for now. I didn't even want this to be this long, but that's okay. Cool food, cool, you know, 79 to 68 cent keto food. Take it easy. Keto is simple. It's so simple. Anyone who's telling you otherwise is trying to sell something. If I'm selling something, it's page 4 and you can get it on my website, or you don't have to buy it. Like, I'm not selling anything if you don't want to buy it. Not forcing you to buy anything, right? This video is free, my blog is free. Although, if you do like my work and you want to support it, you can support me on Patreon, patreon.com/2itnutrition, as little as $2 a month. You could buy like more than 2 cucumbers for that, for supporting me monthly on Patreon. If you don't like Patreon, there's PayPal, paypal.com. You can send any and all amounts to my email address, 2itnutrition@gmail.com. But like I said, all this content is free anyway. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's helpful. And take it easy. Take it easy on yourself. Take it easy on your mind, your heart, and your soul. Keep calm, keto on, and stop making this anything more than it needs to be. Keep your carbs really low, and I'll see you next time. Bye.